Hello, my name is Dawn Howe, and on behalf of the Pittsford Sutherland Counseling Department, I would like to welcome all the seniors and parents joining us for our information session on the college application process. During this presentation, you will hear from each of our high school counselors regarding important information to help you navigate the steps necessary to complete the college application process over the next few months. We hope this information minimizes the stress involved with this process. Before we begin, the counselors want to remind seniors and families that we are here to help you. We understand that each student and family could be in a different place in preparing for this process. Whether you are just beginning to research colleges, are working to finalize your list of schools, or are ready to start submitting applications, we are ready and available to help you. We will invite all students to meet for a senior conference with their counselor, but we are also willing and ready to provide additional assistance to anyone in need, whether that means responding to questions via email or setting up additional meetings. Although the traditional college visit opportunities have been very different and limited due to COVID restrictions, there are still multiple ways for students to investigate a college to determine if it might be a good fit for them. Nearly all colleges are now offering a variety of options through electronic resources. Virtual opportunities include general information sessions, campus tours, open house programs, departmental information sessions, and opportunities to sit in on a college class. While these visits may not be the same as an in-person visit, in many cases it is the best colleges can do at this point. To learn more about the opportunities at a college of interest, you should visit the admissions page on the college's website to learn about their specific opportunities. Some colleges are now offering opportunities for in-campus visits too. We can all hope that in-person visit opportunities will be available to more and more students later this spring before final decisions are made. Each year, Sutherland High School is privileged to host over 140 college representative visits for our students. Due to COVID-related restrictions, college rep visits will be offered in a different way. First off, colleges will only be hosting virtual visits, connecting with our students via a Zoom meeting. These meetings will be held outside of the school day to minimize class time conflicts. On fully remote Wednesdays, rep visits will begin at 1:45. On other days, visits will be held in the early afternoon from 3 to 4:30 p.m. We will do our best to schedule our highest interest colleges on Wednesdays to maximize student participation. The schedule for rep visits will be posted in Naviance, on the events calendar located on the counseling office webpage, and they will be available on the electronic SHS announcements. To attend a rep visit, students will log into Naviance, go to the College tab, and then the Rep Visits tab to find the link to the virtual visit. Additional instructions will be sent to students and located on the counseling website. If a college is listed in your Colleges I'm Interested in list on Naviance, you will receive an email message inviting you to the upcoming visit. We encourage students to attend these visits when possible, as the representatives hosting these visits are often the representatives in charge of reading your application, so it is a great way to connect that representative and demonstrate interest in that college. As colleges work to make admissions decisions, they will review a variety of information provided to them. The most important document or information for colleges to review will be your high school transcript. This document reveals your academic progress year to year, the level of rigor in your high school program, and your level of success as a high school student. Standardized test scores are another factor in the admissions decision, and Mr. Minter will talk more about standardized test options. Transcripts and test scores are the numeric-based data that colleges will review, but your application includes much more information that can and will be considered. Your college essay is a great opportunity for a college to learn more about you, your personality, and maybe something about you that is not shared elsewhere in your application. While your essay should be a polished, well-written piece, it should also be in the voice of a high school student. Parents and other invested adults, please resist the urge to over-edit a student's essay. Additional factors like extracurricular activities, letters of recommendation, and interviews are also excellent ways for colleges to get to know students and what makes them unique. Be certain that the activity section of an application is thorough and represents how a student has spent time outside the classroom since the start of high school. While colleges will evaluate your application reviewing all the factors discussed previously, the admissions office will also be working to meet goals set forth by their academic institution. We often hear from representatives that they are working to accept a balanced class of students. This balance can be created through a variety of factors listed on the slide, including geographic diversity, socioeconomic status, and academic program. It is also important to note that selective colleges and universities are faced with making very difficult decisions regarding offers of admission. While many of the students who apply to these schools have the academic credentials within the ranges of admitted students, not everyone meeting that criteria will be accepted. Schools with acceptance rates below 20% and as low as 5 or 6% are incredibly difficult to be accepted to. These schools would be considered a stretch school for any student. This leads me into our ongoing conversation with students regarding the creation of a balanced list of colleges to apply to. Counselors will encourage students to identify a list of colleges that include safety, target, and stretch schools. The goal of this balanced list is to increase the number of acceptances and options for each of our students. On the slide, you will see a Naviance scattergram graph. These graphs are available for many colleges in Naviance and can help families evaluate a student's likelihood to be accepted at a college or university. These graphs are created using the admissions decisions of Sutherland students within the last few years, showing the GPA and test scores of each applicant with their outcome of admit, deny, or waitlist. When we meet with seniors, we will review their list of colleges within each of these categories. We often find ourselves encouraging students to expand their list, especially if their list is top-heavy, including more stretch schools than any other category. Please don't be offended when we encourage this, as our goal is that all seniors have multiple acceptances and college options to consider at the end of this process. At this point, I will turn the presentation over to Mrs. Teal.
Hello, I'm going to talk a little bit about preparing for the college application process. Counselors meet with every senior to help with the college application process. Senior conferences can be held in person or via Zoom, depending on your scheduled day to be in the building. Unfortunately, parents cannot join meetings in person, but are welcome to attend via Zoom if desired. For students who are applying early decision or early action, we would like you to make your appointments between mid-September and the end of October. To schedule your appointment, please contact Mrs. LaPerry to make those appointments. We ask that parents who have not yet completed the Parent Senior Information Form, please do so, as it helps us to add depth and detail to our letters of recommendation for your students. This form can be found on our counseling office website in the College Process section. We recommend using a professional email address for all college-related correspondence, including emails to colleges and in your applications. First and last name or something similar works well for an email. There are several different types of college applications available. We recommend utilizing the same application method when possible. The majority of our students use the Common application to apply for colleges when possible. Common App is accepted by over 900 colleges. For instance, a majority of the SUNY colleges are on the Common App as well, as the SUNY app. So if you're applying to even one school that is not a SUNY, utilize the Common App for all. Typically, colleges that do not use the Common App are big state schools outside of New York State and community colleges. Each college application can have different requirements. It is important for students and families to check all application requirements, testing requirements, and financial aid requirements, including deadlines for all of these materials. Checking or creating a college checklist of some kind will help to keep things all organized for you. There are 3 different parts to the college application. We're going to review each of these sections in detail. I will share an overview of Part 1. First and foremost, be sure to use your legal name on all documents related to the college process. Your name on all of your application materials must align with what is printed on your transcript, or things won't connect at the college end once they receive it. This applies to your standardized test scores as well. Part 1 of the application includes personal, family, educational, and self-reported standardized testing information. Your GPA and current courses can be found on the transcript that we send home to you this summer. You will also be asked to include information on extracurricular activities, work experience, short response questions, and a personal essay in most cases. Additionally, there is a question regarding a disciplinary violation or conviction of a misdemeanor, felony, or other crime. This applies to students with an out-of-school suspension only. If applicable, your counselor can help you to navigate your response. Additional supplemental information may also be required for some colleges. Supplemental documents can include additional essays or short answer questions. In some cases, a college may allow you to upload an optional resume if you choose. Fee waivers for those who qualify are available for application fees and standardized testing fees. The financial guidelines are posted in the college process section of the counseling office website. If you qualify for this financial assistance, please see your counselor. I will now turn things over to Mrs. Drake to talk about Part 2 of the application.
Students will need to communicate directly with the teachers they are asking to write letters of recommendation. This may be after class or through email to ensure social distancing. Individual teachers have specific requirements for the students they are writing letters for. This may include information sheets, a resume, or questionnaire. Make sure to complete the requirements your teacher is asking for. Students communicate deadlines for each college and the application method that you are using to apply. This will be done on an electronic letter of recommendation request form. Sutherland teachers will use Naviance to submit their letters of recommendation. Teachers and counselors need 1 month prior to your first deadline to receive your official request in Naviance. We all need time to complete the letter writing process. There are more students than teachers and counselors writing letters. In order to write a quality letter by your deadline, we all need and appreciate this advance notice. Teachers and counselors complete rating scales for applications that include areas like leadership, motivation, and intellectual promise. You ask teachers to write a recommendation for you because of the academic relationship and your academic performance in their class. They want what is best for you. Make sure to thank them and include them in the outcome of your applications. Let them know where you're going to attend college. They want to be part of celebrating your success. Colleges have a minimum and a maximum on how many recommendation letters they will accept. This information is on the Common Application under Recommenders for each specific college. It is the student's responsibility to adhere to these caps. The additional recommenders would be anyone outside of the Pittsford Sutherland community. It may be coaches, employers, volunteer coordinators, or internship mentors. These individuals are not Sutherland employees. Students will invite outside recommenders to submit letters electronically through the Common Application website. This is only for outside recommenders. Specific instructions on procedures for outside recommenders is available on the Counseling Office website. The Counseling Office has a role in the application process. A transcript release form must be submitted for each college a student is applying to. The form includes the college name, application method used, deadline date, and the names of teachers writing letters of recommendations. The form gives us permission to send a student's official high school transcript, a secondary school report, a counselor letter of recommendation, and a school profile for each college application. The form tracks what colleges were applied to and when the information was sent out. Additional instructions regarding the transcript release form will be sent to all families within the next week. The deadline dates on the slide indicate when we need a transcript request form submitted by. This is to allow letters to be written and processing materials to be sent. Once a student applies through the Common Application, the additional reports required by the college will be sent. These reports include a mid-year report, which is a student's semester average for full-year courses, and a final average for semester courses. Final transcripts will be sent to the college you choose to attend. This is the last piece of information a college needs to enroll a student. I will now turn things over to Mr. Winter to talk about standardized tests.
Hello, everyone. Standardized test scores look very different than in the past. Due to the pandemic, most SAT or ACT testing has been canceled. Many colleges were quick to announce that they were choosing to go test optional for this class. There remains a small number of colleges that still require an SAT or an ACT score. The key will be for students to check each college for their testing requirements. If a college wants official scores, the student must request the scores through their college board or ACT account to have them sent directly to a college. These scores do not appear on a transcript, and Sutherland does not send these scores for students. If a student wants to submit standardized test scores, we encourage them to do so by self-reporting them on the Common App. This goes for the SAT subject tests as well. Some colleges do not require an official score to be sent initially. Students will self-report on the Common App. Once students select the college they will be enrolling at, they will send an official score report to verify the scores previously reported. This is a shift in the last few years. Students are only sending one score report to the school they are attending. Test optional is a decision that you and your family will have to make. Counselors are happy to help navigate this decision. Colleges will look at each student holistically and will base their admission decision on the information presented to them. SAT and ACT testing is still available this fall. Registration is completed through the College Board and ACT websites. Please see the testing calendar with test dates and registration deadlines. We strongly suggest you register for upcoming tests as early as possible due to limited test dates and test center availability. The testing calendar can be found in the College Process section of the Counseling Office website. Moving on to NCAA Eligibility Center. Any student interested in competing athletically at the Division I or II level must register with the NCAA Eligibility Center. Student athletes need to complete a transcript release form to send an initial transcript to the NCAA. The counseling office will send a final transcript after graduation. Eligibility requirements include NCAA approved courses, minimum GPA, and minimum standardized test scores. The Sutherland website has a fillable NCAA eligibility worksheet for Pittsford students. Student athletes are required to submit an official SAT or ACT score. Continue to refer to the NCAA website for updates and any changes. It is critical that students now more than ever be connected to each college's social media presence. With the pandemic, face-to-face programs are limited. The use of social media and virtual programs are how colleges are communicating with potential students. We encourage your students to follow or like them online. Some colleges will track this as demonstrated interest. Be wise about what you're posting online. Your media presence can be traced by a college. Colleges have been known to do some social media investigating. You don't want something that you thought wasn't a big deal to affect your admissions chances. This isn't just good advice heading into college admissions, but in life in general. We will now briefly discuss financial aid. A separate presentation by Renee Swift from Nazareth College Financial Aid Office is available on our website. She covers the details of the financial aid application process. Before you finalize your college list, it's important to sit down as a family and discuss your financial parameters. A frank conversation regarding college budget and financial limitations is best at this point in the process. Individual scholarships, either through the college or through private organizations, need to be sought out and applied for by the student. We have resources on our website and in Naviance to help with this search. Merit scholarships are offered at many schools, and it is based on student GPA and test scores. Students are often considered for merit scholarships at the time of application. We encourage you to check each college's financial website for information regarding scholarship procedures. Every college has a net price calculator available on their website. It includes questions about family finances and gives you an early estimate of aid you may receive. This is a really nice tool to get a ballpark number so that you can compare to other colleges. There are two forms that are most commonly used in the financial aid process. The FAFSA is the federal form used to determine your family contribution. This form is required to qualify for student aid. You can file this form starting on October 1st. The CSS profile is an additional form used by some colleges in the financial aid process. If you have any questions about financial aid, the best thing to do is to go right to the source and contact the college's financial aid office. We find them to be very helpful in explaining the process and answering questions that might be very specific to your family. Reminders. Posted on this final slide is a list of reminders and tasks to do. Please reach out to your counselor with any questions. We enjoy and look forward to working with your students and families on this college process. Thank you.